Hi, today you will learn how to start your MySQL Workbench. You will understand the user interface, run queries, view details of object, and several other features of MySQL Workbench. If done installing MySQL Workbench, click to open. As you see, we have the welcome message and MySQL connection list. By adding, just click plus button to add. But now we already have connect, so we will use this. After a moment, MySQL Workbench will connect to the database. The screen changes to the main MySQL Workbench editor. The editor has several panels that serve different purposes. At the top, you have toolbar. This contains the menus such as file and edit. You also got a range of icons here on the toolbox. The middle part of the window is the editor pane, and this is the main part of the editor. Okay, it's where you can write and run SQL queries. There's a toolbar that applies to this editor that you can use here. On the right is the panel that contains contacts, help, and snippets. At the bottom is the output panel, which shows a log of queries you run on the database. On the left is panel that shows the schemas object browser and administrative selection. On the top right is the series of buttons that let you hide different panels. Let's talk a little bit about the SQL syntax, which is luckily really straightforward to understand. There are different keywords in SQL such as keyword select, where for RAM from all of these different keywords, they'll highlight in blue, most likely for you. Do start click the SQL with plus to create new tab. Let's now start our code.
In this chapter, we will learn select, distinct, count, function, and combination of distinct and count. Now let's do selecting single columns. Focus of this will be querying databases. A query is a request for data from a database table. Querying is an essential skill for a data scientist since the data you need for your analysis will often live in database. Example will be selecting one of this column. We will type uppercase select. We need to practice ourselves to use uppercase for keywords. After select, we will then put of what we wanted to be selected. Example would be full name and then from what database, which is enrollment. And semicolon. To make this run, click Thunder button and this is the column full name. If we want specific column to be selected, we can add many column name by just putting commas in between. Example, select full name, comma, grade level, comma, age, from, enrollment, semicolon. And this is the result. We will go to select distinct. Select distinct is for selecting columns and not including duplicated values. This might be helpful. Example, you want to know the specific areas of the students where they live. So we will put select distinct address from enrollment. And then this is the result. The count function will return number of rows and one column. Example, if you want to count how many students in the enrollment database, we will put select count, close open parenthesis, full name from enrollment, and then semicolon. So we have 15 students. We will combine count and distinct. Count give number of row and columns, while distinct not include the duplicated. So if we want to know what specific grade level in this database, we will put select count, close open parenthesis, distinct, grade level from enrollment. And this is the result. That would be the end of this chapter.
Hi! So in this video, we're gonna cover some of the basic aggregate functions in SQL, particularly sum, average, count, max, and min. So I'll be using the train table for this particular example. So this is our train table. So the first thing we will do is perform a select all from train. So this one. We will try to run this and we will have our table. So our table consists of names and various numbers or digits. So the first aggregation function we will talk about is the aggregation function count. So basically what count does is it counts and returns back the numbers of rows in a particular table based off of whatever filters you might have applied. So we will try to run this. So as you can see, all in all, we have 714 rows in our table. The next aggregate function we will tackle is the sum. Let's say you wanted to know the total fare, the total of the fare. So all we do is select the statement, select sum fare from train table. So this one. We will try to run this. So as you can see, there is our sum or our solution. This is the sum of the fare, all in all of the fare. So this is what we did. We summed up this column. All of these numbers were summed up, then this is the solution that we got. So while we're here, another aggregate function we could go ahead and do is the average. So let us go and run this so we can find out what is the average. So the total average of the fare column is equal to this amount, which is 34.69451400560218. So the next function we will tackle is max or maximum. Again, let's see what is the max of the fare column. Let's try to run this. So the maximum of the fare column is equal to 512.3292. And should you want the minimum, just replace max with min, and it should show you the minimum amount of the fare column. So again, let's try to run this. So the minimum fare is equal to 0. And one last thing before we end, I want to show you that we can do math in the select statement with these aggregate functions. Let's say I want to find the max fare and subtract it from the minimum fare. So as you can see, we need to run this. And as you can see, we came up with this solution. We subtracted the maximum fare uh, and the minimum fare in the select statement. So these are the aggregate functions.
So next, let's talk about combining aggregate function with where. Aggregate functions can be combined where clause to gain further insights from your data. So, the where clause enables you to qualify or filter the set of values used to determine the result of the aggregate function. And for further explanation and understanding, let's have an example. So again, our data set used is the train CSV. So here we can see the inside of the train CSV. So we have the fare, we have the ticket, we have the passengers. So now let's start the example. So we want to get all the ticket of the passengers who got less than 100 fare. So for this, let's input select, sum, open parentheses, ticket, and close parentheses. So at this part, we use sum to add all the ticket that we can see in the dataset. Next, from train. So we use train because this is the dataset that we use in this example. Then where fare less than 100. So in this part, the where fare less than 100 will get all the ticket of the passengers whose fare is less than 100. Try to run our example. So here the result is this. So that would be the ticket of the passengers who got less than 100 fare.
So we are now in arithmetic operators in SQL. In addition to using aggregate functions, you can do basic arithmetic by using symbols. So we can use addition with plus symbol, subtraction with minus symbol, multiplication with asterisk symbol, division with horizontal line symbol, and modulo with percentile symbol. By the way, modulo is used for getting the remainder. So for example, if we run select 10 plus 7, we will have a result of 17 to add 10 plus 7. Let's try the minus symbol. We will have a result of 3. The multiplication 70. Oops. The division 1.4286, and lastly the modulo. We will have a result of 3. So how it became 3? Modulo is 10. It will divide by 7, so 1. So it will be subtract by 10 minus 7. Then there will be left 3. So it became 3. The result is 3. So let's move on with so this is how we can use different arithmetic operators in SQL. So let's move on with the tables. Let's try to apply the arithmetic operators to the data in some column of the table. Okay, first let me show you the table. So this asterisk will the function of this is it will list all the column names from the table. The passenger ID, survive, P class name, sex, age, etc. So let's apply the arithmetic operators on the fair column. Select fair, the column you want to use, comma, fair plus 10 gram rate. So the first column shows the fair before we add 10 and the second column shows the after we add 10. As you can see, 7 plus 10 equals 17, 71 became 81, and so on. Let's try the minus. 7 became negative 2, 71, 61, 7 negative 2, 53 became 43. So to look it more good, we will put aliases. Fair as Caguit, fair, comma, fair as plus and as modified fair train. The column name and the alias name. So this is the result. Rig fair and modified fair. Alright, that's all with the basic arithmetic operators and aliases.
Filtering of rows. This chapter builds on the first by teaching you how to filter tables for rows satisfying some criteria of interest. You will learn how to use basic comparisons, operators, combine multiple criteria, match patterns in text, and much more. As you learned in the previous exercises, the word close can also be used to filter numeric records such as years or ages. For example, the following query selects all details for films with a budget over $10,000. You can use equal, not equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. For example, you can filter text records such as title. The following code returns all films with a table. Remember, the word close can also be used to filter text results such as names or countries. For example, this query gets the title of all films which were filmed in China. Now it's your turn to practice using where in the text clause.
Hi, welcome to Chapter 4. If you're watching this right now, it means you are now in the last part of the tutorial of how to use MySQL Workbench. For the Chapter 4, we will introduce to you 3 different other functions, such as order by, group by, and having. We will also show to you in the last part of this tutorial on how to use these functions together. If you haven't downloaded MySQL Workbench yet, just click the link in the description box below that we have provided for you and just follow the steps as instructed. For the quick review, let's say that you have already imported a CSV file. So we have a sample dataset here, the train dataset. We will use this one for this tutorial, so just keep on watching. First, type select asterisk from train in a semicolon. Just a reminder, always end your code with a semicolon. And to run the code, highlight the specific code and click the thunder icon above. And there, the result will be seen here in the result grid. So this is the table of the train dataset. And you can see here below the action output of the code that you execute. By the way, we use asterisk to select all the data from the dataset or table, which is the train dataset. Good thing that SQL is not strict with capitalization of codes. Just spell the code correctly and it will surely run. Another example, type select name from train. Again, highlight the specific code and click the thunder icon to run the code. And there, the result grid will show you the name column from the train table. So that's it for the quick review. Let's now proceed to order by.
So in this part, to we're going to learn how to use order by to sort result in ascending or descending order. So we're going to use this data, the train CSV. As you can see, this is what we use lately in the past examples. So this is what we use data. This is the data we use. So I have an example here. Let's get the name of the people from the train table, sorted in alphabetically. So we have here, we're going to type select, the select statement, then the name, and then from train, our data, and then have this order by statement. This, then our order by, we were going to sort them by their name. So we have this order by name. So as you can see, we have the result. This is our result. The name are sorted in alphabetically from A to Z. Z is the last letter of the name here. So Z, cinnamon. Next is also have another example by getting the age. Sorting the name and the people by their age. So we're going to get the name of the people and we're going to sort them by their age. Just going to change this, the name. I'm going to change to age. You can see here, Thomas Master. This person. He is probably the youngest since he's the first here.
youngest in age. So another example is let's get the name and ticket in order by their gender. So I'm going to select a name, ticket, then ticket from people, order by their sex, since we input in the data is sex, not gender. Here we have the result. First is the female, since it is sorted by their sex. Here we have the female, and we have the name, and the other side is you have the tickets. Now, as you can see, have here women, and then here we got some gentleman, Mr. This is Mr. Stephen. Yeah. Now let's move on to our another example. Let's sort 2 columns. So this part, our example is we're going to get the name of the we're going to get the name and a passenger class of passengers in class 1 and 2. So in order by their age. So here we're going to select, we're going to put, we're going to input the select statement, the name, then P class means passenger class from train where passenger class in 1, 2. Where is used to filter records, as you can see, and order by their age. Order by their age. As you can see, we use in this statement, in this example, we use where, because where is used to filter records, and it is also used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified condition. As you can see, the result is shown below. The name of the passengers under class. What class are they? They're in 1, 2, and so on and so forth. Now, let's have another example. Let's get the name and fare of the passengers that begin with a specific letter. For example, a letter M, or letter P, or let's start with letter M, and order the result alphabetically. Let's put the select name and fare from train and where name like. Like is a logical operator that is used to determine whether a specific character strings matches a specific pattern. While this M here have this is what we are looking. A first letter of our passenger names, or first letter of our passenger, their surname, since our data started with their surname. We have here M, then this symbol. This symbol represents multiple characters. So here are name. Have ordered the name. Forgot. So we have here the result. Here's the result, the name of the passengers, and as you can see, the name of the passengers are in specific letter, right? It begins with the surname rather begins with letter M. And here on the other side, we have their fare, amount of their fare. Since here we're done talking about the ascending, since the order is ascending, let's move on to the descending order. In descending order, we know what is descending. It means from lowest to, from 10, example, 10 to 1, that is ascending. From Z to A, it's ascending. Descending rather. It's descending order. So, for example, we're going to get the name of the passenger in descending order. Here, we're going to put select name from train, order by name, and let's put the descending statement, DESC. It is our data will be sort in descending order. Here. So as you can see, we have the names, and the names are in descending order, started from Z to A. We have here. Now let's move on to another example. I've got another example here. Let's get the name and the fare in order of the highest to lowest fare. Here, we will put again the select statement. Select statement, name, fare, from train, then order by statement, fare, and the descending statement. So we have here, let's forget the descending statement, so we'll run. So here, the result is shown, the name and the fare. The fare is in descending order. So you can see, from highest to lowest. Passengers fare. Here. Order by is also used for sorting many columns. It will also sort by the first column provided, then the next, and so on. We have another example. This is our last example. We're going to get the age and name of the people in order of their age and name in alphabetical order. So going to select method and select statement, then the age, name from statement, train, order by age and the name. Here, going to run. So as you can see, we have the age here and the name in descending order. The age is 51. 51, yeah, 51. Mr. George Henry Green. And others are there, as you can see. So that's all for order. No, that's all for shortening.
Next is group by. So we use this keyword to group rows that have the same values into summary rows. For example, type select name from train, group by age. Highlight the code and execute. As a result, it will show you in the result read the name column that is grouped by age. But to see the age column, you need to add age here. Always separate multiple variables with a comma. Highlight and run the code. And there, the name and age is already seen in the display or the result table. To arrange the age in descending order, we use the order by and des keyword. Order by is for sorting, des is for descending order. Highlight and run the code. There, the name is already grouped by age, and the age is now arranged from descending order. Let's try to add sex to see the sex column. Highlight and run the code. There it is. You have now 3 columns in the result read: the age, name, and sex. Sex is arranged from female down to male, as well as age is sorted into descending order. Let's try another example. Let's add where, between, and end statement in the code. As a result, it will display in the table the age between 1 and 20. So that's it for the group by. Thank you.
Having. The having clause was added to SQL because the where keyword cannot be used with aggregate functions. This means that if you want to filter based on the result of an aggregate function, you need another way. That's where the having clause comes in. For example, we select age, name from the data train, then group by age, then we add the having age, which is greater than or equal to 10, then order by age to descending. Then we run it. Then there is a result where the highest age is 80 while the lowest age is 10 years old.
That's it for the chapter 4. Thank you for watching.